guys, this is Gary again. It's mid-October. I think it's about the 13th of October, and I'm working on my greenhouse. As you may recall from my earlier video, I planted a Persian lime tree here in mid-Michigan in the ground sometime between May and June. And as you well know, this is a semi-tropical plant, and it will not make it through our winters. We can get temperatures below zero, and citrus trees start to have problems when you start reaching the 20s. So I need to build something to protect this plant. And you can see the greenhouse back here. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I'm a gardener, I'm not a construction expert, and so I make a few more mistakes than most people do when you're trying to construct something. And right now I'm working on the roof, and I plan on putting polycarbonate material on the sides, and on the inside I'm going to use a greenhouse plastic. Now, one of the reasons this is more difficult to do is because I'm building this greenhouse so that it can be completely taken apart during the summer months. And the reason I'm doing that is it can just be out as a tree in the landscape like any other tree. Now, there's some advantages and disadvantages to that. The advantages are I can impress my neighbors having a semi-tropical plant growing in the ground. But some of the disadvantages include the fact that I have to put the greenhouse back together. Now, it won't take as long to put it back together because I'm building it in sections and it's bolted together and everything can be taken out. There are no nails involved, everything's put in with screws, and so I can take that apart. What I'll have to do before I take it apart next year, and that'll be the first time I test the idea out and see how long it takes to take it apart, but everything's going to have to be labeled and marked so that I can put it back together exactly the way I took it apart. So we'll see how that works out next year. But right now I'm in a race against time to get this greenhouse finished before we get really cold weather. Now I have a plan for emergencies that I can keep the plant alive, but I'd like to have this done preferably before November, and we certainly can have some pretty cold temperatures by November. I'd love to have it done by late October if I can. So anyway, it's made primarily with 4x4s on the corners, and I also have 4x4s in the ground for the base, and everything, as I said before, is bolted together in sections. And you can take a wall section out and I'll just stack it next to the garage and store it for the summer months. Another reason for doing this greenhouse is 16 feet by 12 feet. And in most places, once you get beyond 10 foot by 10 foot buildings, you have to have a building permit. But since this is a temporary building and an agricultural building, then I don't have to have a permit in this area. So, although if this idea works, I have avocados and tangelos and lemons and various other tropical plants in pots right now that I purchased, that I will build a larger greenhouse for those, and most likely that would be a permanent greenhouse, and I would seek a permit for that so that I stay out of trouble. Anyway, it's coming along pretty well, and I'll just let you take a look at it, and I'll keep you posted. There are lots of things that I need to work on yet. I have to put the heating system in, and that'll be a whole different video. I have to also deal with pollination problems and pest problems, although I can control that pretty well with the greenhouse. And another reason I don't want to have it up during the summer is you have to worry about cooling the greenhouse because it'll get over 100 degrees in there. Although for that particular plant, it's not much of a problem because in citrus growing areas in Florida, it does get over 100 down there. So it can handle that, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But most likely I'm going to take the house apart. So stay tuned and keep watching out, and we'll see how this works out.